as well. So it's important for all of us to look at each other and make sure that we're making those safe decisions.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I do not understand how you can be in a situation, because yes, you've got airbags, but there's a good chance that if you hit the airbag without the seatbelt, you're going to bounce off the airbag, and God knows where you're going to go in the passenger compartment. The best chance you have in a collision is with airbags, and if you've got the side airbags, even better. But the seatbelt to the airbag that grabs you and keeps you from propelling yourself into the steering wheel right into your sternum.
Yeah, it's they're not foolproof to an extent, but it is the single best thing that you can do to save your life in the event of a crash. It is the single best thing, and it takes 2 seconds. And it is kind of satisfying to buckle up, but it's such a big thing that you can do to keep yourself safe. And it is mind-boggling seeing those statistics, and that's why we try to do what we can here at TxDOT to spread this awareness. We have a Crooked or Ticket campaign that we share through every year. That's been kind of a national campaign that's been very successful to increase usage of seatbelts. Crooked or Ticket is our partners with law enforcement to increase their efforts to watch out for people not wearing a seatbelt. And it's a really good campaign to show the importance of buckling up, that not only is for your personal safety, but it's also the law. You need to buckle up, or you can be pulled over and face the consequences. And so we try to share those messages as much as we can, both during the Crooked or Ticket safety campaign that we send out as a press release and post on social media. But we also post it out on our TxDOT social media pages throughout the year to reinforce that message as much as we can.
I was driving home from work the other night, and it was late, and I blew a tire on my front passenger side, and I had to wrestle with the vehicle because the tire decided it wanted to disintegrate. And I had to, I'm glad I had my seatbelt on, because the seatbelt kept me in the seat nice and tight. I wasn't going that fast, 45, 50. I was coming into an exit ramp. But still, the seatbelt did a nice job of keeping me nice and tight.
Yeah, it really does a wonderful job of kind of giving that nice hug in a normal situation, but that really important embrace in emergency situations. And like you said, in that situation, I'm really glad you're wearing your seatbelt, and I'm glad you're okay. That sounds like a scary situation. And so that's why you never know when something like that can happen. And you never know, even if in a short trip, something can happen. So no matter how long the ride, no matter where you are, it's important to buckle up. And that's something we reinforce as well, because I see stories of people in their neighborhood, so really close to home, or I am just going to get a soda at the convenience store down the street, and they didn't buckle up, and they get in a crash, and they get hurt, unfortunately. So it doesn't matter how long the ride, you really need to buckle up.
Adam Hammonds and Amanda Oster from TxDOT are with us. It's coming up to 3:46 Eastern Time. Dan Harmon for Mark Willis. We'll be right back after these messages.
speed limitations or line of sight restrictions. Plus, it includes features not found on ADS-B, such as storm tracks, echo tops, and both cloud-to-cloud and cloud-to-ground lightning. SiriusXM's aviation services are compatible with the ForeFlight and Garmin Pilot apps. You can also add SiriusXM Entertainment and listen to ad-free music, plus sports, talk, comedy, news, and more while you fly. Fly confidently, knowing you have the best information available to make decisions in flight. Visit SiriusXM.com/aviation to learn more.
Right now at Pilot Flying J, pro drivers get 3 free drinks every week, all September long in the My Rewards Plus app. It's our way of showing just a little gratitude for all you drive and all you do. Just open up the My Rewards Plus app and get a drink on us. Better yet, get 3 of them every week. So here's to you, pro drivers. The only thing greater than the miles you drive is the difference you make. Pilot Flying J. See you out here. Terms and conditions apply. See pilotflyingj.com/driver appreciation for details.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business, and take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, customers like Jeremy trust us to connect them with only the best. In fact, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us. So we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free.
She really kind of made a connection with me. She knew something about my personality, knew a little bit about me. Now I'm really confident about getting out there and just getting it done.
Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. That's a real deal you don't want to miss. So join Jeremy and experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Get insights on the go. Download the California Psychics app today.
Whether it's expanding your business, upgrading your equipment, or covering payroll, you can score big with SwishFunding.com, the slam dunk solution for your business funding needs. If you have at least $25,000 in monthly revenue and been in business for at least 1 year, qualifying's easier than a layup. We fund up to $5 million in 24 hours. Go to SwishFunding.com, SWISH funding.com, SwishFunding.com.
Go to the best truck stop out there. Road Dog Trucking, Channel 146, and the SiriusXM app. Free with all of our trials and popular plans. Welcome back to Road Dog Trucking News with Dan Ronan, sitting in for Mark Willis. Call in now and be part of the conversation. 888-8-ROAD-DOG.
Glad to have you along with us. Anna Austin and Anna Hammonds are with us. They're with the Texas Department of Transportation. You guys got a lot of money, the number being into the tens of billions of dollars for road construction. Out of that amount of money, Amanda, how much money goes into roundabouts? What does it cost to actually build the average one? Let's say if you were going to do it in Plano, Texas, north of Dallas, what would it cost to build a roundabout? What's the payroll? What's the cost?
Oh, that's pretty dependent on site conditions. The numbers we like to throw around are anywhere from $1 million to $5 million, depending on your site, depending on what you want to include in there. And we are looking at options right now, based on research we're seeing from other states, on how we can reduce that even more, because they have such benefits for saving lives. We never want cost to be the hurdle to overcome to implement these things. So we know other states like Georgia and Virginia are looking at things like modular roundabouts, which are quick and easy to install and much lower cost. We know Washington State DOT is looking at smaller footprint roundabouts, because oftentimes the cost of a roundabout can be getting those extra corners, the corner clips, so some property acquisition might need to happen, and that takes time and can be expensive. So, we throw around that $1 million to $5 million, but oftentimes we don't see the cost that way, because we're not always putting roundabouts in as a standalone project. Oftentimes we're looking at a corridor as a whole, and so we might be reconstructing the intersection anyways. And if we were thinking traffic signal, but now we're thinking a roundabout instead, the cost difference is a lot smaller, if that makes sense. Where a signal could be anywhere from $500,000 to $900,000, depending on the signal, and a roundabout might not be that much more. So, if we're in a situation where we're already reconstructing an intersection, roundabouts might not be that much more. But standalone, the new cost of money, but we're doing ways to improve the cost benefit of those.
Amanda, what's a modular roundabout?
Oh, good question. There's a few different companies that are cropping up. A modular roundabout is plastic pieces, hard plastic, road durable plastic that you assemble on site. And so you need good pavement. If you have an intersection where the pavement is already deteriorating, you wouldn't want to use it there. But if you've got an intersection, maybe you recently repaved it, but you're still having some safety problems there, you can come in and these plastic type pieces are anchored to the existing pavement. And typically they're of a black color. That's good contrast on concrete bases. Obviously on new asphalt there's going to be a lot of contrast, but you can take them. And so you see the edges of those painted yellow. And so basically you bolt it down to the existing road. And with that, if there is wear and tear, you just replace a piece of it fairly quickly and easily.
Okay, so there are less expensive ways to build these that sound actually a little cheaper and also a lot quicker.
Definitely. We're still looking into it. They're very new. We're working to see how other states have had experiences with them. I think we're getting some mixed reviews. They are quick and easy to install, and you do get the benefits, the safety benefits that a roundabout provides. They haven't been around long enough to get a lot of data on the longevity. So that's something that we're looking into. We're looking with our research group to see if we want to do some pilot studies here in Texas, but haven't quite figured out a location yet.
All right, good to know. So this is a process that can be replicated. It sounds like, Amanda, it's something being done in other states as well. Is there a lot of back and forth, both Adam and you, I'll direct this to both of you, between state capitals, between DOT commissioners in various states, Olympia, Washington, Springfield, Illinois? Do you guys chat all the time about these kinds of things?
I'll say from the engineering side, we can as much as we can. I'll let Adam talk about at the higher levels, but from an engineering perspective, absolutely. We have different ways of meeting engineers in other states that are doing the same things we're doing. And so I've been very fortunate to find some contacts in Georgia and Virginia and Minnesota, Florida, and Washington, and each one of those has been extremely helpful. There's actually a nationwide network of roundabout engineers that share a lot of content, they share research, they share articles, they share what they're doing, and so I think that only benefits us to learn, what other states have done, and hopefully we as Texas can do the same and help others.
Yeah, how about that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I would just want to add that, there's multiple organizations out there of all the Department of Transportation throughout the state that we kind of get together and conferences or meetings or what have you to understand best practices for all kind of engineering aspects of our transportation world and understand what we can do better and what other people are doing, how we can share. There's a massive partnership out of all of us. And from my perspective, I'm in our communication section. I help, communicate our TxDOT story. And there's other DOT, other Department of Transportation throughout the state, throughout the nation that do that as well. And we actually had a meeting back Monday and Tuesday of this week to share knowledge, share best practices, and actually one of those presentations was about roundabouts and how to best communicate roundabout safety to the public, to educate the benefits and what resonated with people, what didn't, what was really good on social media, and kind of share those best practices in the communication aspect. And that is just one example of all levels of partnership that goes throughout what we do at TxDOT, what Department of Transportation do throughout the country.
It sounds like, Adam, also with the money coming in from both the state and the federal government, that there's a real building renaissance taking place. I know that a number of projects are on the drawing board or have been completed. The LBJ, the 635 was a huge project as well. That as well. What are some of the other ones that you've got working on?
Yeah, so we have a big project that's in the works in Houston called the NHHIP, and that's sometime in the next half year. I'm not entirely sure when that might break down, but that's a massive project for the Houston area. And then there's a big project in the Austin area, Capital Express, that's could be starting sometime in the next year. So there's some big projects in big cities to revitalize some of our highways. Obviously construction can add to some frustrations for some drivers, but that frustration in the short term will lead to some long-term benefits in those areas.
And there is an awful lot of demand. I mean, your state is growing, adding hundreds of people every week to the state of Texas. There are legendary bottlenecks in the state of Texas, so there's a lot of work to be done.
There is. We have a booming economy, booming population, and that's great to have in Texas, right? But it also adds some challenges to our road rates throughout the state. And that's why we really appreciate the funding that the Texas legislature and that the people of Texas have approved for us. Like I said, we have a $100 billion 10-year transportation plan that was approved back in August. And a big portion of that comes from Prop 1 and Prop 7 state tax dollars. And those are huge benefits for the people of Texas and to help us address some of those challenges. We have a program called Texas Clearways Program, and that is a program specifically for congestion relief projects in our major metro areas. And there's some really great projects through that funding program that can really benefit a lot of people in heat congestion in some of our big popular metro areas.
Adam and Amanda, real quickly, I guess I'll direct this to you, Adam, because you're the cops guy. Real quickly, where can people find out more about what's taking place at Texas Department of Transportation? Where's the website? Where's the information available?
Yeah, TxDOT.gov is a great source for any and all information of things what we're doing. From my perspective, we have a little newsroom page. So if you just Google TxDOT Newsroom, it'll bring you to our page, and that talks about the work that we do throughout the entire state. But TxDOT.gov is really kind of the main place, and you can search through all of our projects and all the things that we're doing throughout the state.
Great conversation. Thanks to both of you, Amanda Austin and Adam Hammonds with the Texas Department of Transportation. Thank you very much for spending the hour with us. I think it's been a really interesting conversation.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Amanda Austin and Adam Hammonds joining us from the great state of Texas. 3:19 coming up on 4 o'clock Eastern Time, Road Dog Trucking News. We're going to shift gears. We're going to talk about getting more young people into the transportation and heavy equipment field. We're going to be joined by Tom Wozniak, Madison Area Technical College in Madison, Wisconsin, and Cal Mosier, a recent candidate and competed in the World Skills Competition in France and did very, very well.
New technology, health on the road, and driver calls. Get it all on Road Dog Trucking, Channel 146, and on the Sirius XM app. Road Dog Trucking News with Dan Ronan.
According to the Associated Press, with a strike deadline looming, the group representing the East and the Gulf Coast ports is asking a federal agency to make the Longshoremen's Union come to the bargaining table to negotiate a new contract. The U.S. Maritime Alliance says it has filed an unfair labor practice charge with the National Labor Relations Board. It alleges that the ILA is not bargaining in good faith. The alliance said in a statement that it filed the charges due to the ILA's repeated refusal to come to the table and bargain over a new master contract. The ports are asking for immediate relief, an order requiring the union to resume bargaining. It is unclear just how fast the NLRB might act on that request. A message was left seeking comment from the agency that has not been returned. It is unlikely the NLRB will rule on the complaint before the strike deadline. This is Dan Roman reporting.
SiriusXM presents a brand new exclusive show with former UN ambassador
driving job. With our industry-leading selection of driving options, you'll find a job with the freight, home time, and schedule you've been looking for. Plus, Schneider drivers operate state-of-the-art, well-maintained equipment and have access to award-winning benefits and a 24/7 support team. Don't wait. Find a job that offers the stability you need to fuel your career. Search jobs and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
I'm meteorologist Ken Boone here at the Weather Channel with an interstate weather update looking at your north-south routes here as we head through this Thursday night. Hurricane Helene making landfall tonight near the Big Bend area of Florida, heading northward up into and through the state of Georgia into and through Friday. 75 and 95 in Florida, the outer bands bringing heavy downpours, strong winds as we head through the overnight hours. 75 and 95 in Georgia, heavy rain and strong winds. 75, heavy rain, strong winds in central North Georgia, on up into Tennessee, eastern Kentucky. 95 through the Carolinas and Virginia, rain heavy at times, breezy to windy, and showers on 95 Philadelphia northward all the way up into northern New England. Interstate 35, dry weather in the nation's midsection. 25 and 15, dry weather. Dry weather on 5 along the west coast with a few showers possible on 5 in western parts of Washington state. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone with custom weather for drivers twice an hour on the Road Dog, Sirius XM 146, and now on the Sirius XM app.
This is Road Dog Trucking News with Mark Willis. Sitting in today is Dan Ronan.
4:04 Eastern Time. Thanks for joining us. The final hour of Road Dog Trucking News. This Road Dog Trucking Hour. Interstate weather on Road Dog Trucking News brought to you by Schneider. Call 844-PRIDE or visit their website, SchneiderJobs.com. 4:04 Eastern Time. We're going to pivot and talk for the next 30 minutes about ways to get more young people involved in trucking, transportation-related careers. And no better person to do that in this case than Tom Wozniak. He is a instructor at Madison Area Technical College in Madison, Wisconsin. It is a really great school on the east side of Madison, and Tom has been involved for a number of years now in a program called World Skills, and he has taken 2 young men. In this case, one of them will be joining us, Cal Mosier, and he has taken 2 young men in the last couple of years to some pretty interesting places around the world to compete against the best and the brightest in competition. Tom, for those who have not heard of World Skills, and I've done a lot of reporting on this and covered it pretty extensively, tell our listeners what World Skills is. Then we're going to bring Cal in and talk with him about the competition, which wrapped up not too long ago, and he made a very strong showing. Go ahead, please.
Okay, well, thank you, Dan, for having me on. I really appreciate this. And what World Skills is, we just watched the Olympics here this past summer. And what I can really kind of equate what World Skills is. World Skills is the Olympics of skill competition. This is the best of the best that every single country has to offer, and over this particular year happened to happen over 65 different contest or skilled areas, anywhere from our diesel and heavy equipment all the way to cosmetology and hair design to artistry, butchery, and all several different skilled events across the whole thing that we can get be part of. And what I really like about this particular organization is, the people who actually do the day-to-day work, the people who work with their hands, the people who go every single day and work and make a paycheck. These are the people who are actually competing to be the best of the best in the world. We celebrate our athletes, and don't get me wrong, I love seeing our athletes up there and earning medals, and especially watching the Olympics. We're all excited about that. But these individuals who go and compete at this high of a level, and it is as high of a level as our athletes are at, and come away with the same type of awards and the same type of accreditation as our Olympic athletes, it's remarkable. The sad thing is here in the United States, we don't celebrate that like other countries do. Other countries put these competitors, just like they do their athletes, on huge pedestals. They're like rock stars. And, we here in America, we should be doing the same thing and showcasing these particular individuals, putting these, on pedestals and showing these off as rock stars as well. Because that's what they are. They are the best of the best in their given industry.
Cal, take us a little bit on your journey to France. What was it like? What was the training like? Talk about this.
Yeah, hey, good afternoon. Getting to France I'll just start with something I never expected to have the opportunity to do. But as far as preparation went for myself, it was just incredible to have the corporate side of industry kind of show up at my door and say, hey, are you ready to go? Working with Tom, working with Caterpillar and other equipment manufacturers for trainings and giving me resources and things of that nature. This was a 6-month journey from, end of February up until here in September of constantly training and thinking about the competition and working in a meaningful way to be as prepared as possible.
I think we've lost Cal. Tom, we're going to get Cal back on the line, but go ahead and pick up where we were at in terms of the competition while we work to get Cal back.
Yeah, what Cal was saying is, the preparation that's needed. I mean, just like any athlete, Cal went through rigorous training, not only, like I said, with us, but with all kinds of OEMs that gave us some help. We knew going into this that the type of equipment that we're going to be seeing is something that we typically do not see here in the United States. Even though that they do have, the manufacturers that we saw are here in the United States, the marketplace and where these particular units are very limited in a very small marketplace. So we knew kind of going in. So we really needed to work on the actual basics, the basic understanding of hydraulics, the basic understanding of electrical, the basic understanding of undercarriage and steering and braking systems, and really kind of get forward, because going out there and working on a Mechalak or going out there and working on a Dornsmart, farm track, or going out there and working on a Manitou telehandler, a little different than what we would see out here, but the same principles when we work with hydraulic systems, when we work with electrical systems, when we work with drivetrains. All of that is still going to be the same. The difference is going out there and not having familiarity with the equipment, and also not having familiarity or a better understanding of the literature that's out there on this equipment. We're used to the Caterpillars, the Volvos, the John Deeres, the Freightliners, the Peterbilts. We're very used to that type of stuff. We see that every single day. When you start getting into the foreign-made stuff coming over here, a lot of their service manuals and stuff have been interpreted from their virgin language, either the French or German, into English. And some of that interpretation, is very hard to understand and cross. Same thing with their schematics and stuff. It's there. It takes a little while to figure it out. We can figure it out, but it takes a little bit to figure it out because they're drawn just a little bit differently. They're drawn as ladder schematics. And it's just trying to read through those things and make the appropriate decisions with that. And to top it all off, now you got to do this in a 3-hour time span. So it's a lot of pressure for these kids going into this competition to make a great showing. Not only have that great understanding of those systems, but being able to go ahead and troubleshoot these systems when you are unfamiliar with A, the equipment itself, or B, even the literature and the schematics, something I've never seen before.
So in this case, Tom, as we look to get Cal back on the line, and we're working on that right now, what happened is that you guys went over there and he primarily trained on American equipment, but many of the Europeans are using equipment that they've trained on that they're much, much more familiar with. But he made, by all accounts, from what I understand, a very, very, very strong showing.
Yes, he did. And, one of the things with World Skills, one of the requirements is that the equipment that's going to be used in the competition has to be available to all countries who are participating within World Skills, not just the ones participating in our contest, but all the countries that belong to World Skills International. So when you take a look at, when I got the equipment list and I saw it, and it's like the first thing I did is I run on the internet and said, okay, is there an American version of this? Of course, every single manufacturer, there is an American version, and I don't want to say version, but it is sold in America. But again, the marketplace is so small that we hardly ever see it. So yeah, Cale coming into this, he had a disadvantage coming in right away because we're competing against France, we're competing against Denmark, we're competing against Germany, we're competing against Austria. So we're competing against countries that these equipment, this equipment that's out there is a little bit more familiar with it. And, Cale did a great showing. He got 5th place in the world, which I gotta say is remarkable. But what was remarkable on this is when we're going through the competition, it's 4 days of competition. And when we're going through the competition over there, the competition is based off of 800 points. It doesn't matter what contest it is. 800 points is your maximum amount of points. Gold medal had 733 points. That's what won the gold in our contest. Cale had 716. That's 17 points away from the gold medal. There was 5 people between 733 and 716.
Gotta tell you, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of runners that are getting to the wire doing 100 meter and they're running 9.89, 9.88. I mean, that's some pretty very narrow margins there.
Yes, it is. So when you come into this, and of course with Cale's training, spending all that time just studying, and a lot of this was by himself. I mean, he was training with me. Yeah, we went out to some OEMs, Caterpillar and Volvo, and spent time with their training group. But a lot of it was on him, being at home, going through all of the online training that we can get that a lot of these OEMs allowed us to take and use. And a lot of that training was on him. So when we get there, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little step behind because we're not as familiar with the equipment. We're not as familiar with the schematics. We're not as familiar with the tooling. That's the other thing because we're using the OEM tooling for that. And being behind the 8 ball, we knew that going in. And where Cale ended up, I'm very pleased with it. I know he's very pleased. At first, you're kind of hoping that you see the American flag on the Jumbotron when they're calling you up on the podium. But when he found out that he earned himself a medallion of excellence and earned himself 5th place, I mean, he was just absolutely ecstatic.
Cale, glad we got you back on the line. How did it feel to come in that close? I mean, the 17 points separating you and the first place person who was awarded the first place gold medal. Very, very close.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I don't have a great way to put into words how that went, but definitely speaking with those other competitors, which I now call my friends, at the end of it, we just kind of looked at each other and boy, we said this is a bad day for one of us and a good day for the other one, and that was just the way it was, and to be able to represent the nation and myself and Caterpillar and Tom that well is just an honor and very privileged to have.
Coming up now to 4:15 in conversation with Tom Wozniak and Cale Mosier. They're involved in World Skills. Tom is at Madison Area Technical College in Madison, Wisconsin, and Cale was the U.S. representative in the heavy equipment competition recently, taking the United States flag overseas to France to compete against other young people in a number of categories. And we'll continue our conversation with both Cale and Tom here on Sirius XM 146.
Enjoy free daily practice sessions in our indoor hitting bays. One free lesson in fitting each year from our
certified professionals. Plus, you'll get 20% off additional lessons and fittings throughout the year. You'll also earn reward points for every dollar spent and get free standard ground shipping on all online orders. All this and more when you become a Players Club Plus member. Get yours today at PGATourSuperstore.com/plus.
Myrtle Beach is the golf capital of the world, and now giving that proud title a deeper meaning. With the PGA Tour on board, we now represent the height and heart of competition at every level. For buddies trips, Myrtle Beach Golf creates priceless memories by the thousands each year. And in Myrtle Beach, kids play free, bringing new generations to the game like never before. Myrtle Beach is golf in every way. Visit playgolfmyrtlebeach.com and learn how you can be a part of it.
What does the future hold for business? Ask 9 experts and you'll get 10 answers. It's a bull market. It's a bear market. Rates will rise or fall. Inflation's up or down. Can someone invent a crystal ball? Until then, over 40,000 businesses have future-proofed their business with NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud ERP, bringing accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR into one fluid platform. With one unified business management suite, there's one source of truth, giving you the visibility and control you need to make quick decisions. With real-time insights and forecasting, you're peering into the future with actionable data. When you're closing the books in days, not weeks, you're spending less time looking backwards and more time on what's next. Whether your company is earning millions or even hundreds of millions, NetSuite helps you respond to immediate challenges and seize your biggest opportunities. Download the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning for free at netsuite.com/pro. That's netsuite.com/pro. netsuite.com/pro.
A question from Search Kings. What strategy are you using for your digital advertising? Are you blindfolded, spraying wildly, not knowing what hits and what misses, but paying for all of it anyway? Or the Search Kings approach, using call intelligence, evaluating, summarizing, and scoring every incoming call, so you'll know the most profitable leads, what generated them, and your true return on investment. You want to stand out when your customers are online? Switch to Search Kings.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO